Our rainy season is here, and you can pretty much count on having to drive in a downpour at some point most every day. In today's Injuries Are Personal with Reynolds Law, attorney Carl Reynolds is here to help us drive safely and hopefully avoid accidents. And I know this sounds basic, right?
Right.
Found a statistic, rain gets attributed to 34% of crashes, according to the DOT.
Especially here in Florida, where we don't just get those light misty rains, we get some torrential downpours.
And I've always heard, and I think I remember this from the kids going through driver's ed, that when it first starts to rain is when there are the most accidents. So I don't know if that's people not adjusting or the slick road surfaces, but
I think it's a little bit of both. What happens, especially if you go through a prolonged dry spell, you've got a lot of oils and things dripping on the road, and so when that first rain comes, those oils are right on the top of that rain, and they haven't had a chance to kind of wash off to the side and everything, so the roads can be quite slick when we have that first downpour, especially after a dry spell.
All right, well, that makes sense. So you see the aftermath of a lot of rainy day accidents, I'm sure. What are some things that we can do better as drivers? I know we can't do anything about everybody around us most of the time.
We can't do anything about the rain. So so what we can do is, and I know these sound elementary, but they're worth repeating, is slow down, but don't stop, okay? So oftentimes we'll see people like screeching to halt, stopping, and any sudden movements, it causes a chain reaction, and a lot of accidents happen because they hit this wall of water, and your kind of knee-jerk reaction is you kind of want to stop. Well, don't stop. Let off the gas and slow down and keep your speed low, but don't stop, especially on highways. And that's often where we see these crashes, okay? So slow down, increase your driving distance. And again, I know it sounds elementary, but you know, you're gonna need more time to stop in the event that there is a stoppage ahead or something happens. So you need to increase your driving distance behind others. You want to obviously avoid hydroplaning, and if you do, because you're going too fast or you just hit one of those slick spots or whatever, don't hit the brakes, okay? Too often, the reaction is we start sliding a little bit and we want to hit the brakes. Well, that's just going to accentuate the sliding motion, and you're going to lose control of the vehicle. So you want to let off the acceleration, and you want to steer in the direction you want to go, but not oversteer. So you don't want to yank the wheel.
Right.
It's easy, gentle kind of smaller movements is important.
And the hydroplaning is such a huge factor here, because as we know, when it rains, it often rains unbelievable buckets in 2 minutes, and then you get it ponding on those edges of the road, and you know, you see people drive into them and hit curbs and spin out and everything else. Right.
So again, slowing your speed so you're not creating a huge wave that goes over your vehicle and destroys your engine compartment, also so that you don't lose control. And you bring up another good point is, you know, the only point of contact between your vehicle and the road are your tires, so you need to take care of your tires. As we go into the rainy season, make sure your tread depth is sufficient. Go to the tire store and replace those tires if you're losing tread depth, because without that tread depth, you're setting yourself up for disaster and for a hydroplane incident.
That's a really good mention too, because I know a lot of us trying to save money right now. I'm stretching my tires as far as I can since I drive a lot, but they really are what keeps us safe.
Sure.
So if there's ever a time of year to put some money into tires, I think it's right now as we head into that rainy season.
Absolutely. And another thing is, the law is turn on your headlights, okay? So make sure, a lot of us have running daylights anyway, but if you don't, if you have an older vehicle, whatever, turn on the headlights. And obviously, again, sounds elementary, but use your windshield wipers, okay?
Please.
Yeah. As soon as it rains, my wife's like, turn your windshield wipers on. She hates any kind of drops in the field of vision, but that makes sense. Now, one thing that's somewhat controversial is it used to be against the law to drive while you have your hazard lights on. The legislature changed that to where it's not against the law. I still don't think it's advisable, because it sends a mixed signal. Oftentimes, a hazard lights indicates that a vehicle is disabled or not moving.
Got it.
And I think it affects the visibility, but it is legal, so you're allowed to have it. So you don't be honking at people when they have them on the roadways, because it's no longer illegal. But make sure you have some sort of increased visibility, some lights on, and decrease your speed, increase your following distance, and yeah, we can get through this and not have that 34% increase spike that you indicated through the statistics.
And again, it's not unreasonable to assume that why that happens. We all know what it's like and scary to drive in these rainstorms. But
especially our visitors that aren't used to these kind of rainstorms.
Yes. Florida rains are special, that is for sure. So please take special care on the roadways as we head through the rainy season. For more information information about any of your legal questions, you can go to injuriesarepersonal.com. We'll be right back.